Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome to our newest episode of Before the Bell as we take a look at our preview of Memphis Wrestling episode number 65 live here on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at Memphis Wrestling. We're so excited to talk about the fastest hour of pro wrestling coming up this Saturday. It's going to be exciting because this week there is simply hell to pay as Big Swole gets his hands on the posse. Plus, the championship committee has requested the women's championship title be returned. Will we see the championship title laid out there at the desk with our hosts, Dustin and Maria? You'll have to find out tomorrow at high noon on Saturday for Memphis Wrestling. Folks, it's an amazing day. I've been in D.C. all this week with some work travel. It's been incredible there in Virginia and Maryland in the D.C. metro area. But so excited to be here talking about wrestling with you all. And of course, I'm also live on TikTok. Shout out to all of my TikTok followers who are watching us here at the side camera angle. You can also watch me live on our program on Facebook if you're tuning in from TikTok. So let's talk about it. We've got a few events coming up. May the 29th, MLW's Mads Krugger is coming to Memphis Wrestling. On the 29th, that evening, following our television tapings at 2 p.m. Central, we're going to go to Dave & Buster's there on Wolf Chase, one of our proud sponsors, for a free watch party for AEW Double or Nothing. It's a free watch party. Bring your friends, bring your family. No cost to get in, no cost to watch the pay-per-view, but there's plenty of food, drinks, and games to get you ready for the main event of AEW Double or Nothing. And June the 4th, this is super crazy, by the way. First time I think this has ever been done. You'll probably correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but Zoo Rendezvous featuring live Memphis wrestling at the Memphis Zoo. Tickets are available online at ecommerce.memzoo.org. You can get tickets there for that event, as well as tickets for all of our Memphis wrestling events at championshipwrestlingmemphis.com. And on June 12th, it's the women's Gauntlet for the Gold 2. The women's championship match will take place if it gets returned. We're hoping so. We're hoping that professionalism will pay off here and that whoever has this title will bring it forward, give it back. If not, then we're probably going to have to scrap that event. It's going to look a whole lot different, I'm sure. But June the 18th, Memphis Wrestling returns to Black Rock, Arkansas for our Black Rock Entertainment Committee. They're raising some funds for the city of Black Rock, and that committee, we're going to see some great action with K Toomer taking on the Gun Show. Brett Michaels, one-on-one in that match there in Black Rock. You can get tickets at Memphis Wrestling for this event at championshipwrestlingmemphis.com. So here's the card for tomorrow's program. We're going to open up with a singles match, and it seems that the etiquette of Memphis Wrestling is being depleted. We saw that the incident that happened with return of Lance Archer, we saw that Martin no longer around at the moment, and of course, we can't forget Jay Smooth and his injury that he sustained, so he's going to be out of action for a while. But what's going on? Where does that leave Cross? He's one-on-one with Trace Lee Hunt. What's he going to do? He's not been in the ring in Memphis Wrestling before. Is he going to answer this call of stepping into the ring against the Real American? We'll have to see and find out. High noon, CW30 Memphis, Raider Communications, Tubetown, Arkansas, as well as CBS Jackson at 11 p.m. Central, and, of course, live on YouTube every Saturday, high noon. The Mekla Lock Challenge. Norman Meklakoff has made his return to Memphis Wrestling. Can anyone break this Mekla Lock that he puts in place, which is a modified full Nelson? It's got some Soviet power behind it, some Russian strength. Is anybody going to answer that challenge? Is anyone going to break the Mekla Lock? That challenge coming up after the singles match, and it's open to anyone. So if you're in the crowd, if you're a professional wrestler across the country or somewhere in between, please, we want to see you answer this call and break the Mekla Lock, the Mekla Lock Challenge. I get so tongue-tied trying to pronounce that. I don't know how Dustin does it every week. I would end up saying something that would have to get bleeped out by accident, even though it's not a part of my normal language. Following the Mekla Lock Challenge, the women's title returns Diana Taylor. So we're hoping that she'll be professional, do the right thing, and turn in the women's championship. Will she? We'll find out. Hopefully so, considering that the women's Gauntlet for Gold is going to take place on June the 12th. You can check out championshipwrestlingmemphis.com for ticket information. But if she doesn't, if she holds that championship hostage, we're going to have to reevaluate this event, find out what we're going to do to get this title back from dangerous Diana Taylor. We also have tag team action coming up Country Rock taking on the debuting LA Hustlers on Memphis Wrestling Television. Finally, after weeks and weeks of teasers that we have saw on Memphis Wrestling programming, the LA Hustlers will make their Memphis Wrestling debut. And this is going to be a good test here because Country Rock, Carter Matthews, Chris Hayes are no strangers to the ring. They're very talented, they're very maneuverable, and they've already made an impact here in Memphis Wrestling. So the LA Hustlers, I've known them for quite a while in the independent circuit, and I know that they've got a few tricks up their sleeves, but is Country Rock a little too cool for those tricks that they've got? Tune in tomorrow to find out. Main event, it is a non-title fight. Now let me highlight that. The Memphis Wrestling Tag Team Champions, the Posse, Mr. Chris and Simon, taking on Big Swole Justin Cole. I don't know. Even though it's a non-title match, it would be interesting to see a handicap match for the titles and Big Swole taking home both tag team straps at the end of that victory, but it is non-title. This friendship has been over for quite a while officially. So, a lot of bad blood between Justin Cole and the Posse. But today is when it's all going to end. It's just like a festering pimple. It's going to pop. Anybody watch Dr. Pimple Popper? Shameless plug for her. But that's what's going to happen. Just a little less gross. Big Swole says this fight is his fight. And he's going to finally lay it all down, lay it out in the ring, and hopefully settle this score once and for all. Folks, I promise you, this will not be a pretty match. Plus, you never know what will happen on the fastest hour of pro wrestling. I got to say, it's been a little bit of a short preview this week, but just to remind you, and of course, this graphic, Dustin's going to absolutely just hammer me for this, but I'm just getting back from DC. Cut me some slack, Dustin. May the 15th, we had the Sunday Slam live inside Dave & Buster's. The first time this has ever happened. And it was an amazing event. We want to send a big thank you and a big shout out to all the Memphis Wrestling fans for coming out to Dave & Buster's for this Sunday Slam live event and spending some money inside of one of our greatest sponsors, Dave & Buster's there on Wolf Chase in Memphis. Sunday, May 29th, Mads Krugger debuts here at Memphis Wrestling. He's from MLW, and he's going to be bringing a vengeance along with him. Later that evening, we'll be back at Dave & Buster's for AEW Double or Nothing Watch Party, absolutely free. If you come find Dustin or any of us at Championship Wrestling from Memphis, we're going to give you some free game cards for some gameplay at Dave & Buster's. How cool is that? Free watch party to watch AEW, chat with your favorites at Memphis Wrestling, get some free game cards. All you got to do is buy the dinner, buy some food, buy some drinks, and you're set for the night. Saturday, June 4th, it's back to the 80s for the Zoo Rendezvous, and Memphis Zoo Live Memphis Wrestling will take place. You can get ticket information at memzoo.org for that event. And June 18th, Saturday, it is the Black Rock, Arkansas return show. The master of Fat Jitsu, K Toomer, the 387-pound man, takes on the Gun Show, Brett Michaels, one-on-one there in Black Rock, benefiting the Black Rock Entertainment Committee in the city of Black Rock. So excited to return to Northeast Arkansas for that event. And folks, we are running out of time. You talk about the quickest hour of pro wrestling. This is the quickest hour. This is the quickest 10 to 15 minutes of pro wrestling you're ever going to find. We can't wait to see you at our live events. We invite you, check us out online, Championship Wrestling Memphis, for all of the up-to-minute information and news on what's going on with Memphis Wrestling. By the way, May 29th, some other names have been announced. If you haven't seen it, consider this an exclusive. Buff the Stuff Bagwell and outlandish Zicky Dice coming to Memphis Wrestling along with Mads Krugger on the 29th. I have it officially right here on the website, championshipwrestlingmemphis.com. You can see Mads Krugger from MLW, Buff the Stuff Bagweller, Buff Daddy as he's going by these days, and outlandish Zicky Dice all in Memphis Wrestling. That is going to be a packed card coming up next Sunday, so be there. But tune in tomorrow again for Memphis Wrestling Live, CW30 Memphis, and Arkansas Ritter Communications Tubetown. I got to slow down here. Slow down, Terrence. Ritter Communications Tubetown in the Arkansas markets. CBS Jackson there in Mississippi. You can tune in at 11 p.m. Central, their time, for that programming. And live every Saturday streaming on YouTube, where you can join us in the live chat, ask some great questions to all of the Memphis Wrestling talent, as well as the Memphis Wrestling social media manager. Not me, but I think Dustin pops in there occasionally, throws some great comments and answers some great questions. So tune in there as well and follow us on all social media at CW30 Wrestling. Folks, thanks so much for tuning in this week. I wish I had more to talk to you about, but I hope to see you at one of these shows coming up very soon. And I can't wait to chat with all of you on social. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Here's a quick word from our sponsors, and we'll see you next time. Looking for a trusted roofer in the Mid-South? Look no further than the award-winning Southern Roofing and Renovations. Call Anthony for a free quote at 901-672-1292.